To the Point with Michael Williams.
Good morning. It is called House Bill 991. Governor Ron DeSantis and his allies are pushing the anti-defamation bill to rein in what they and their supporters see as media excesses. One First Amendment advocate says if passed in Florida, it will be the, quote, death to public discourse. And it's not just legacy or mainstream media in the crosshairs. Your critical blog post or a scathing social media post could be too. My guest today, Bobby Block, former editor of Florida Today, a former investigative reporter and foreign correspondent. Mr. Block, now executive director of the Florida First Amendment Foundation.
HB 991 would effectively lower the bar on defamation lawsuits so that it would be with greater ease that public officials would be able to sue critics of public policy, of their way of governing, of their choice of clothing, whatever the case might be. What it does is it removes a lot of obstacles that have effectively been around at the federal level for almost 60 years. And what this would do was, what it would do if it becomes law, is it would make it, it would enable public figures and public officials, public figures think celebrities, public officials think either elected people or appointed people that are in government. And it would allow them on for a variety of causes to take you to court. Traditionally, defamation always had to be false.
Referring to New York Times Sullivan, 1964, knowing.
Well, that's right. So there's a few things. One, historically, defamation, you had to do two things. You had to show you had a reputation, that you had to show that that reputation was damaged. You had to have a reputation that could be damaged. You had to show it was damaged, and then you had to show that it was damaged by false information. In 1964, after a result of a lawsuit in which Montgomery, Alabama's police commissioner effectively sued the New York Times, not for an article, but for an advertisement from civil rights activists trying to raise money for Martin Luther King's legal defense fund, had made some minor errors in this appeal. How many times they didn't count correctly the number of times King had been arrested, and they overestimated the police actions. So it was these honest mistakes, which really didn't change the substance of what they were talking about, which was that people's civil rights were being stepped on. They sued. Now, up until that time, defamation lawsuits were absolutely weaponized. Southern states had sued news organizations for a total, I think, up until that point in time, which was 1964 when the Supreme Court finally heard the case. Up until then, the damages were about $300 million, which would in today's money be about $3 billion. And it was effectively, there were lawsuits by Southern officials, and the objective of the lawsuits were to basically keep criticism of civil rights reactions out of national newspapers. So initially, after Sullivan launched the suit, a trial in Alabama led to a jury awarding Sullivan I think $500,000, which is huge in those days. Several years later, the case was heard in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court decided in a unanimous ruling, which is the landmark decision that created a constitutional benchmark, that to sue for defamation, a public official not only had to show that they had a reputation that needed to be protected from harm, that the reputation was harm, and the article was false. They put a deliberately high bar on it and said that in addition to that, you had to show that the people purposefully put out that wrong information.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the actual malice standard.
Mm-hmm.
What it really means is you didn't do your homework. You didn't check whether it was true. You should have known it wasn't true, or you knew it was true and you didn't care.
And didn't care.
And the Supreme Court said, look, this is a high standard and we realize it, but there's a reason why we're doing it. And the reason we're doing it is because the First Amendment demands robust national debate. And the founding fathers recognized that fact, that to be a free society, people had to trade in the marketplace of ideas, and honest mistakes should not be used in a way to punish that exchange of ideas. What Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida did was he came out at the beginning of, I think, of February with a round table, which was like a slickly produced kind of little talk show he did with a very small hand-picked group of people to basically show that the little guy had no chance against these corporate media giants, and their reputations were ruined and how unfair it was, and he was going to set the bar straight. And they've introduced this legislation, HB 991, which does more than overturn actual malice. It actually creates a series of conditions whereby a newspaper, a radio station, a blogger, or even a Facebook poster, they could put out information that is 100% true. But with the new standards and new introductions of legal torts that they're using, you could be, if I say, you know, my friends read that article and they said it made me look bad. Even though it was true, the intention obviously was to make me look bad, and therefore I could sue you.
We'll have viewers who hear this. They're going to be alarmed by it. We're going to have some viewers, you know this, who are going to hear this and cheer it. They say it's about time. They back Governor DeSantis. And viewers say, doesn't matter to me. Talk directly to viewers across that spectrum of opinion about why what they say, oh, that's just a media fight, matters to Floridians, all Floridians.
Well, it's not a media fight. I mean, the media is the convenient kind of cover for it. In reality, this impacts everybody. It doesn't. If you're a supporter of Governor DeSantis, and if you're critical of the media, and right now, it's not hard to find people critical of the media. By the way, we've been critical of the media since the founding of the Republic. But we've never been happy with the media for over 200 years, and we've complained about it a lot. But right now, if you're not happy with the media, for most people, when they think about this, particularly conservatives, they'll think CNN, New York Times, Washington Post, Miami Herald, those news outlets that they see as having a liberal bias. The fact of the matter is, this law is a blunt instrument, and it impacts everyone. It impacts conservative media. And I would argue that conservative media is probably the most vulnerable, because if you think about how talk radio formats work, they tend to work based on commentary that's often inflammatory. And it's meant to be inflammatory because listeners like that kind of confrontation. Those guys could be in serious trouble, but it's just not them. If you go to school boards, we've seen how school boards have become a new flashpoint in these culture wars. A lot of people are upset. You go, you get worked up, you come home and you post on Facebook that the supervisor of the district is an idiot, or that the chairman of the school board must be corrupt, or you're a retiree fighting a zoning ordinance or new growth and development plan that you don't think was properly vetted, and you raise a question on your own Facebook page. I'm very disappointed at that. Could our county manager be on the take? Boom. All of a sudden, you're in the crosshairs of a potential lawsuit. Another part of this law, by the way, is that, we've read over the years anonymous sources. Think about Watergate. We would have never known about Watergate had there not been anonymous sources. Now, according to this new law, this bill, if it becomes law, if you have an anonymous source, you don't have to be the New York Times to have anonymous sources. I mean, everybody does. Even talk show radio hosts will say things like, I've heard people tell me. Those are anonymous sources. Anonymous sources, the right to speak anonymously is a First Amendment right. And anonymous tracks and anonymous sources have also been with us from the very beginning of the Republic. If you think about Federalist Papers, they were often issued anonymously, as well as a lot of tracts against various politicians, which said scurrilous and horrible things. They were often issued anonymously. Now, under this law, if I'm sued for defamation and there's an anonymous source in there, I have to either tell the court to defend the truth, who my source was, or under this law, it would be presumed to automatically be false and you've lost the case. So while it says it doesn't compel journalists to violate their privilege, which most states recognize, the idea of forcing journalists to divulge sources is not something that, but in this case, unless you want to be sued for potentially millions of dollars, lose your job, lose your place of work, you're faced with a choice. You either divulge who spoke to you, i.e. you violate a confidence, or you take a beating.
Your final message to Floridians tonight, Mr. Black?
This is not a good law. It's not a good look for Florida. And more importantly, I think that a lot of the media landscape that we know, that if this bill becomes law, will change dramatically in ways that I think no one will be happy. And I think people will be afraid to speak. And I think any society in any state in which people, before they sit down on a keyboard or with a pen in their hand or with a microphone in their hand, that they're afraid to write, post, or speak, is not the free state of Florida that we've been told it is.
Brian Crowley, political journalist for more than 40 years, our analyst for the last dozen plus. Your thoughts?
Well, I think, that was a very high level look at things. I tend to want to bring it down to a lower level. The Sunshine Law and the Public Records Law have been in effect in Florida since 1967. There are everyday Floridians who use the public records law. Attorneys use public records law. Real estate agents use public records laws. And, when you start shutting down the ability to obtain public records, the governor's office is delayed as long as 8-9 months to get public records that used to take at best a couple of weeks to get. So, you could be somebody that's in your town or neighborhood. You hear rumors of a big development going to take place and you want to know more about it. Well, what if the public records have been shut down? What if they're making it hard for you to get? What if the meeting that used to be public suddenly isn't public anymore and it's having an impact on your life? It's more than just what goes on in Tallahassee.
What about to the heart of this anti-defamation bill, though? The fact that, as you heard Mr. Black say, it's going to chill people wanting to speak out. Do you agree? How big a concern for you?
Well, one way to look at it is apparently the Governor Ron DeSantis is going after Fox News. Because in the Dominion lawsuit, where a lot of emails and other information has been released that says that things that their host said, things that Rupert Murdoch said were totally in conflict with what they were saying on the air, that they were basically admitting they were lying about some things. If you take away actual malice, Fox News would then be liable. Mm-hmm. So, without question. So it's the actual malice that Fox News is depending a lot on to help win this huge billion-dollar lawsuit. So apparently Ron DeSantis is going after Fox News. Well,
as you heard, he said all voices. It's going to be interesting, a big debate, one very much worth watching, something you've talked about for years. Representative Alex Andrade from the Panhandle is the sponsor of 991. We did reach out to his office for comment, have not yet heard back, but it's something we're going to be hearing a lot more about. And up next, the abortion debate as it intensifies in Tallahassee and statewide.